right, let's dive in. Today we're tackling luxury living rooms.
Ooh, sounds fancy.
It is. And we've got a great guide for our deep dive today. It's an article from Cardinal Memorials. They're that site for home decor and gifts.
I've seen their stuff, yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, really nice. So whether you're dreaming of a total living room makeover or just want to sprinkle in a little elegance, this deep dive is going to give you some awesome ideas.
Can't wait.
So the article starts off strong, talking about color palettes. And it's not just about going bold, though that's definitely an option.
Right.
They suggest rich colors like emerald green or sapphire blue.
Yeah.
Those definitely scream opulence. Right.
But then they also talk about how neutrals like creams and grays can create the sophisticated, timeless look.
Exactly. It's like choosing the right foundation.
You know what's cool? The article even mentions the psychology of color.
Oh, yeah. How certain colors can affect how you feel.
Exactly. Like, think about spas. They're all about those cool blues and
Is
greens.
they're calming, right?
Right. Studies show those colors can actually reduce stress and help you relax.
So it's not just about what looks good. It's about how you want the room to feel.
Exactly. And that actually ties into the next thing the article talks about, flooring.
Oh, yeah. They're big on quality flooring. Hardwood, marble, plush carpets.
Yeah.
The good stuff.
Exactly. And I think it goes back to that idea that luxury is about investing in things that last. A well-crafted hardwood floor, that's something you can enjoy for years and years.
It's like they become part of the story of your home.
Exactly. And they feel incredible, too.
Yeah.
Think about walking barefoot on a thick wool rug.
Oh, yeah. That's the ultimate luxury. So we've got the foundation down. Now let's talk furniture.
Okay, let's do it.
The article is all about statement pieces. Like imagine a plush velvet sofa. But they also talk about mixing different styles to create a unique look.
Oh, yeah, mixing styles. That can be tricky.
Right. How do you keep it from looking like, a mishmash of random things?
Right. Well, one trick is to find a common thread between the styles you're mixing. It could be the color palette or the materials or even just a similar vibe.
So even though the pieces might be from different time periods or styles, there's something that ties them together.
Exactly. And the article also talks about focal points.
Oh, yeah, like a fireplace or a big piece of art.
Exactly. It gives the room a sense of purpose. Like,
Yeah.
this is where your eye goes first.
And then from there, you kind of take in the rest of the space.
Right. It's like a visual anchor.
Speaking of drawing the eye, the article really dives into lighting.
Ooh, lighting is so important.
They're all about the layered approach. Chandeliers, sconces, table lamps, accent lights, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and each type of lighting serves a different purpose, right? You've got your ambient lighting, like from a chandelier for overall illumination.
Right, then task lighting for, like, reading.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you have accent lighting, which is all about highlighting those special features like artwork or architectural details.
Wow, there's a whole science to it. It's not just flipping a switch.
Definitely not. And the article makes a great point about dimmers.
Dimmers.
Yeah, being able to control the brightness of the light lets you create different moods in your living room. Super important for that luxury vibe.
So we've talked color, flooring, furniture, and lighting. What else makes a living room feel luxurious?
Let me think. I know. Textures.
Yes. The article talks about velvet, silk, faux fur, leather, all those rich textures.
Oh, yeah. Those are key. It's about appealing to all the senses, not just what you see.
Right.
Like, imagine running your hand over a velvet pillow.
Or sinking into a leather armchair.
Exactly. It adds that extra layer of luxury.
So are we forgetting anything?
Well, we can't forget about accessories and decor,
Mm-hmm.
but the article makes a good point. Less is more.
So you're saying don't go overboard with the knickknacks.
Exactly. A few well-chosen pieces make a much bigger statement than a room full of clutter. It's about curating the space.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Like a museum, almost.
Right. Every piece has its place and tells a story. And speaking of storytelling, we can't forget art.
They definitely emphasize that in the article.
Yeah. Whether it's a big statement piece or a curated gallery wall, art adds so much personality to a living room.
Take the soul of the space.
I like that, the soul of the space. So we've covered a lot. We've talked color palettes, flooring, furniture, lighting, textures, even art. It's like a whole recipe for a luxurious living room.
It is. But before we get to the mixing and baking part, let's take a quick break. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss part 2, where we dive even deeper into these luxurious living room ideas.
We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to our luxury living room deep dive. So last time we talked about all those key elements, color palettes, flooring, furniture, the whole nine
We
yards.
did. But now it's time to get a little deeper. Like, what's the psychology behind all these luxury choices?
Right. It's fascinating how design can actually affect how we feel in a space. And the article we're looking at from Cardinal Memorials, it actually touches on this.
Yeah, I noticed that, like how they talk about using lasting materials.
Exactly. There's something about being surrounded by things that feel well made, built to last.
It's like you can just sense the quality
Right. A beautiful hardwood floor, a solid marble countertop. It's not just about looks, it's about that feeling of permanence.
and stability too, right?
Absolutely. When your surroundings feel solid and enduring, it can actually make you feel more secure and grounded.
It's like they're saying, hey, this is a space you can really settle into.
Exactly. It's not going anywhere. And that brings us to another interesting point, focal points.
Ah, yes. The article talked about those. Fireplaces, artwork, anything that draws your eye.
Right. And psychologically, focal points are really important because they help to organize the space.
Because our eyes are naturally drawn to them.
Exactly. It's like they create a visual hierarchy. Like, okay, this is the most important thing. Then your eye moves to this and then to that. It brings a sense of order to the room.
Makes sense. And when things feel ordered, you feel more relaxed.
Exactly. It's like your brain can finally take a break from all the visual chaos. Okay, now let's talk about textures.
Ooh, yes. Velvet, silk, faux fur. Those are all over the Cardinal Memorials article.
And for good reason. Those textures, they just feel luxurious.
They really do. It's like you want to touch everything.
Right. And that's a big part of it, engaging all the senses. But there's also a psychological component to it.
Like what?
Well, those soft, plush textures, they often evoke feelings of comfort and security. Think about a cozy throw blanket.
Or a big, comfy armchair.
Exactly. It's like a visual and tactile hug.
Yeah.
It makes you want to relax and let go of stress.
I'm feeling relaxed just thinking about it.
Me too. It's amazing how powerful design can be. Now let's shift gears and talk about lighting.
Oh, lighting. They were really into that in the article. All that talk about layering and different types of light.
It's so important. Think about how different lighting affects your mood. Like dim lighting can make you feel sleepy.
Right. And bright light makes you feel more alert.
Exactly. So in your living room, you want to think about the different moods you might want to create.
So for a cozy movie night, you'd want something different than, say, a dinner party.
Exactly. And that's where dimmers come in handy.
Dimmers, yes. They let you adjust the brightness to create the perfect ambience.
Right. Super important for a luxurious space. Now, last time we talked about accessories, and the article made this interesting point. Less is more.
Which is kind of counterintuitive, right? Don't you want more stuff in a luxurious space?
You'd think so, but actually, a cluttered space can be really overwhelming.
Oh, I get that. Like your eyes don't know where to look.
Exactly. And it can actually make you feel more stressed, believe it or not.
So you're saying a few well-chosen pieces will actually make the room feel more luxurious.
Exactly. When there's less visual clutter, your mind can relax and appreciate the beauty of each piece.
Makes sense. It's about quality over quantity.
Right. And it creates that sense of spaciousness, which can also feel very luxurious.
So we've covered a lot about the psychology of luxury. It's amazing how much thought goes into it. It's not just about throwing money around.
Definitely not. It's about creating a space that feels good on a deeper level, a space that supports your well-being.
Love that. Well, we've got one more part to go in our deep dive, where we'll talk about some specific tips for bringing all these elements together. All right, welcome back to our luxury living room deep dive. So we've explored all the key elements, from color palettes to textures, and we even got a little deep into the psychology of it all.
Right. It's not just about what looks good. It's about creating a space that makes you feel good.
Exactly. And it all started with that article from Cardinal Memorials.
Oh, yeah, that was a great find. It's interesting because, well, they're a site for home decor and gifts, right? Not necessarily luxury experts.
Right. But they really hit the nail on the head with a lot of their points. Like, one thing that stuck with me is they had a whole section on maintenance.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It wasn't just about, like, picking out the perfect sofa or rug. It was about how to care for those pieces to keep them looking amazing for years to come.
Exactly. Because a well-maintained piece is always going to feel more luxurious than something that's, worn and neglected.
Totally. Think about it like a luxury car. If you take good care of it, It's going to look and feel amazing for a long time. But if you let it go, well, it's not going to have that same luxurious vibe.
Same with our homes. It's those little acts of care that really make a difference.
Right. Regularly cleaning your furniture, replacing those fresh flowers, even just rearranging your accessories every now and then to keep things feeling fresh. It all adds up.
It really does. It shows that you care about your space.
Mm.
And that, I think, is a big part of what makes a home feel luxurious.
Absolutely. It's that attention to detail, that sense of intentionality. It's like you're saying, this space is important to me, and I'm going to invest the time and energy to make it feel special.
I love that. Like luxury is an ongoing process, not just a one-time thing.
Exactly. And that's so empowering because it means that anyone can create a luxurious space regardless of budget. It's about making those mindful choices and putting in that extra effort.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some key takeaways you hope our listeners will remember?
Well, first and foremost, I hope they remember that luxury is not just about spending a ton of money. It's about creating a space that reflects you and your values, a space that feels both beautiful and meaningful.
Yes, it's about those personal touches that make a house a home.
Exactly. It's about choosing colors that make you feel good, investing in pieces you truly love, and creating a space that feels both visually appealing and psychologically comfortable.
Right. And it's about taking care of those pieces and your space as a whole.
Absolutely. Those little acts of maintenance go a long way.
So as we say goodbye to this episode, what's one final thought you want to leave our listeners with?
I'd say this. As you go about creating your own luxurious living spaces, remember to have fun with it.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to experiment, trust your instincts, and create a space that truly reflects you.
Because ultimately, the most luxurious space is one that feels authentically and uniquely yours.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
A huge thank you to Cardinal Memorials for inspiring this deep dive, and of course, a big thank you to our listeners for joining us. Be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into all sorts of fascinating topics. We'll see you next time.